It is a slow process. I said that earlier, but it's really important to close the deal. A lot of situations there, if you leave that night without memorializing the deal, the likelihood of it falling apart is really high. If it takes staying till 2 o'clock in the morning to do that, stay until 2 o'clock. I don't know how else to say, buyer's remorse is a real thing. And there's something about being in a room with people where they're tired and hungry and been there all day, where, you know, they wake up, and I'm not saying they make bad decisions, but you've gone so far, they've invested so much, they're willing to stick it out to get to a resolution. But once they leave that situation, they go home, they may not be as invested in reaching the resolution that they would have agreed to. So I think it's important to wrap it up that day if you can, and close up as many loose ends as possible. And that is why I think it's not a good idea to just have a term sheet with essential terms. I know that that is the way that most mediations work, and that's what most lawyers rely upon, is a term sheet with, you know, this is how much one side is going to pay. We're going to dismiss the lawsuit. We're going to do confidentiality. All right, let's all go home. My suggestion, and this is a strong suggestion, is to prepare a settlement agreement of the key terms before you walk into the mediation. Mediations usually only, you're only negotiating a few of those terms that you could insert into that settlement agreement, whether it be the amount in dispute. That's usually a big one. Who's going to pay what? But terms such as confidentiality, non-disparagement, the merger clause, dismissal of the lawsuit, the recitals, all of that can be done before you go into the mediation. And then at the end of the day, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not writing a settlement agreement while everybody's ready to go home. You can have the settlement agreement prepared. You can put in the key terms. So that doesn't require you to leave the mediation with a skeleton of what the parties agreed to, and then try to memorialize that later into a document. It raises issues of whether this is just an agreement to agree, or whether this is the final agreement, and what are non-essential versus essential terms. It can lead to further litigation, which is what you want to avoid. So to the extent you can wrap it up and get the final settlement agreement done, and the way to do that is to have that draft done before you go into the mediation.